My name is Dr. Brittany Gatewood. I am a adjunct professor currently at Prince George's Community College and George Washington University.
My name is Mikkel Wright. I'm a PhD student at the University of Minnesota in the Department of Sociology. And I am from California, born and raised.
My name's Anaya Vines. I'm a junior. I'm attending the Howard University. I'm studying in political science and criminology.
Aiden, I'm a junior political science major at Morehouse College.
Very excited about this collaborative teach-in because I like how it is unifying different universities and also bringing in the perspective of the HBCU, because a lot of places don't talk about HBCUs or put them as, on high of a scale or prestige as PWIs. So to even the forethought to bring in HBCUs along with Minneapolis, it creates a platform that is not usually happens. And I think also a lot of things that are missing in this discussion about when you talk about police brutality and the protests around it is how it affects students on the ground. And so especially student activists. So when we're moving forward, going to the fall, how is this going to look, right? So how are they, we see that people in Minneapolis or other universities, how they're treated, the students, but also bringing their work into the conversation. They have also been putting in a lot of work, and there's going to be a couple different student activists and activists in the community that are going to be talking about their experiences. And so one thing that I really like to do with my research is bridge the gap between the community and the ivory towers. And I think this is a great way to do it. And so that it's not just a conversation about academics, it's a conversation with activists, with student activists, and that we are not apart from the community that we live in. We just don't walk into the ivory towers and lose the fact that I'm a Black woman. I can't lose that fact. And so actually centering and bringing together activists that are on both sides of the coin, I think is a very important thing to do.
I'm excited about this collaborative teaching because I think collaborative teaching is the way to go. I've always been interested in sociology because of how collaborative it is with everything else. It's never just sociology, it's health and race and class and crime and healthcare and public policy, and all of those things kind of intermingle. So I think collaborative teaching is, if not where we are now, but where we're going. So.
I was on a panel with Dr. Muhammad a couple days ago, maybe like a week or two ago, and she asked me, what is my Black girl magic? And I said, unifying and organizing. And when I was reached out to be a part of this teaching, I said, wow, like this just goes into play with what I really stand for, which is unifying. And, the first meeting that we had with individuals from Missouri, with, individuals from Minneapolis, individuals from Atlanta, and of course from DC, I'm seeing, wow, we're actually coming together and unifying, on a national scale. And, having our voices heard and representing our universities. And that's, it goes side and side with the Live movement. It's universities coming together and making their voices heard. And it's not just, scholars that's doing it. And of course, students are scholars, but we're talking about, a variety of people, whether you're a professor. I have my brother from Morehouse is going to be participating in the teaching, and myself. So, it's seeing from different perspectives, changing the lens and seeing, okay, it's not just people who are, getting paid to teach at the universities, but it's these people, students who are paying to learn. That are, going to be heard. And I think that's going to be relatable to all the audience, anybody that's watching. So I think it's a platform that is long overdue, that needs to be created, which is, universities uniting and coming together and teaching, our communities. If no one's going to do it, then it has to be us.
Because I think this kind of moment following George Floyd's death has kind of radicalized a lot of people. I think it's got people to start thinking about policing in ways that they haven't really before. We've, at least for me, like I've been aware of things like this since at least Trayvon Martin's death, and that was probably like beginning of high school. So I've been thinking about these things for a while, And it seems as if it's come to a point where everybody is kind of tired and everybody is kind of exhausted with it. And I think that has opened up a lot of minds and a lot of possibilities to, what might a world where we don't have to watch, Black people die, day in and day out at the hands of police look like? And more importantly, what might a world that doesn't require, anti-Black violence, period, look like? Whether that be in the form of murder or in the form of, lesser, more mundane things, whether it's like a traffic stop or like, some other, more minimal form of brutality that Black people endured on the daily. So I think it's a form of radicalization that makes us question, like, what do we need to do to end police violence, rather than, taking up these sort of reactive postures like prosecution and, how do we, hold people accountable after the fact? So we've seen that in the form of defunding the police. We've seen that in the push to abolish the police. And we've seen organizers around the country make that push and make a lot of people listen. So I think this is another opportunity for me to kind of amplify that message.